So the new event cycle is already about to start on February 1st whenever it comes to the event called the Dragon, which is the Object 292. Now, basically what the Object 292 is, it's a 152mm T80. That's basically all you really have to know about it. The gun on it should be really good. The reload on it is going to be something that's going to have to be put in question. And the tank itself is going to be pretty much no armor because it has no ERA and it should be the same armor as a T80 BV. Overall, to me, I think the vehicle's actually a pretty good one. I mean, it's going to be something different. It's going to be something unique whenever it comes to the Russian tech tree. There's not going to be another vehicle. It's just a 152 lull cannon, it's a glass cannon. That's just going to be able to pretty much pin everything because the APFSDS should be very strong. But at the same time, it will not be able to take a hit, nor will it actually be able to do much else. So if you're wondering on actually how to get this vehicle, it's going to be actually pretty simple. You're just going to have to play the game for a very good bit, and you're going to get 45,000 score every 2 days from February 1st all the way down to February 19th, which is going to be insane. So basically there's 9 stages. Every 2 days is a stage technically within the event, and you have to get 45,000 score to get just the vehicle in general. Now, the other thing about it is that there is a couponable version of the vehicle, but you have to get 750,000 score. I said that, yes. 750,000 score, which is almost about 2 times the amount that you would normally have to get from just getting the vehicle itself. Because if you do the math of it, 9 stages times 45 is what? 405,000, right? So basically you're almost having to do 2 times the amount to get a sellable coupon, which is just Gaijin making the vehicle rare on purpose. So if you want a little bit of a positive out of this whole situation, there's going to be actually a modifier depending on what, game mode that you play and also what rank that you play. So if you're playing ground RB, for example, you're going to have more score than someone who's playing arcade, or the requirements to get score is going to be a lot less because there's a modifier. If you played the previous events, whenever it comes to winter or summer, it's the same premise. RB is going to be one of the ways to get the most score. Simulator is technically the best, but at the same time, the queue times for ground sim is going to be insane, probably, as they always are. So definitely will probably not be something that I would actually, do. But really, it just matters what vehicles you can do really well in, which is the number one tip I would just give. I would go to your stat card, just see what vehicles that you played a ton of, see what vehicles you do really well in, and then just play them over and over and over to get this event done if you want to get it done. So yeah, that's basically how you get this event done to get the Object 292. Basically, you just have to play the game a lot. You have to play it consistently. You can't really skip, more than 2 days within this event, and you'll be able to get the vehicle itself. But selling it is a whole nother question, because selling the vehicle itself to get the coupon is 750,000 score, which is pretty much doubling the amount of score that you need to actually get the vehicle, which to me at least is kind of insane. So you're basically putting the double workload on you to just be able to sell the vehicle. And since this is a very new system, we really don't know what the prices of these vehicles will actually be. So it's very hard to actually tell if it's going to be worth to sell these vehicles or even get the coupon, or just if you want to just get the vehicle, go ahead and accept it and redeem it to your account. Now, I guess one thing to note that I assume a lot of people are not going to be going for the 750,000 score. So there's going to be a lot less of a supply for these vehicles on the market. So as you know, whenever it comes to supply and demand, if there's less supply and there's more demand, the price is definitely going to go up. So now let's talk about how I feel about this event. So I'm coming from this position of this whole event that I'm not going to be going for the 750,000 score pretty much ever, because I don't really ever plan to sell these vehicles in general, because, as a CC, I could just technically request these vehicles and have them forever. So I don't really think it's right to do that sort of thing. But at the same time, I'm still going to be trying to go for the 405,000 score, which is the 9 stages of the event, and hopefully, we're actually able to do it in a very quick time. But the thing about it is, I feel like, is that, people have lives, people have different things they got to do throughout, the days, throughout the weeks, throughout the months, different times of the year, people are busy with different things. So at least to me, whenever I look at this event, it seems like it's for people who either, for one, just have enough exposable income, to actually buy this sort of thing, or just people who spend all day on the internet. And it's not really an in-between whenever it comes to, being able to do this. And we kind of went backwards from where we should be at, of where it should be a little bit of a challenge to do, not like 2 or 3 games or something like that. But at the same time, it feels like we went from where these events were not worth doing because these vehicles at the end of the day of the end of the events would just cost about $20. So now you're going to have a system of where it's going to cost way more than $20 now. Like I 100% agree with, these event vehicles are actually going to go up in price, but also the grind for a normal player, I would say, is pretty much unattainable at this, stage of time. If someone's actually going to play the game all day, then yes, they're easily going to be able to get it done. But someone who has 1 or 2 hours a day to maybe play the game, it's going to be very rough, especially if you're, an average or below average player within the game, of getting the score, quickly. It's going to take probably people around, 3 to 4 hours if they're doing, above average. But at the same time, it could take people up to 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 hours if they're not really that good at the game. And, it's one of those things that I kind of just feel like that it shouldn't be how good you're at War Thunder if you're actually able to get these event vehicles. It should be the time invested into it matters a lot more than your skill. But at the same time, it's kind of bad that there's going to be people running around with just the whole meta vehicles. They're going to be running around with their rank 1s or rank 2 event vehicles that are just completely overpowered, just, destroy all the noobs that just started the game. You're going to have people who run around with Object 279s because 279 is still pretty good. You're going to have all the people running around IS-7s that have that as well, and KV-1E, KV-1B, and it's going to be a shame of how this type of event will actually turn out to be. And at the same time, it's very sad to say that instead of this event being just like one part of the year or 2 parts of the year like the summer and winter event was, it's going to be a constant. As soon as, was it February 19th, which this event ends on? As soon as that comes, you get like 2 or 3 days of a rest, and then we're grinding air task again. So it's going to be a strain. It's going to be definitely a marathon to do these types of events. And I feel like it's going to be a breaking point for a lot of people, especially if they want to do, this sort of thing. Now, if you want my advice for this, honestly, guys, this is my whole advice for this. If you don't really need the vehicle, or you don't really want the vehicle, or you don't really see you actually needing, the vehicle for lineups or anything like that, just ignore it. There's going to be times of where there's going to be a cool vehicle that you think is pretty cool, and, definitely that's the ones that you should go after. But if you're just going to press yourself every single time that this event comes around of getting the vehicle every single time, you're going to burn yourself out. And it's going to happen to a lot of CCs that actually do this event. It's going to happen to a lot of players that do this event. They're going to get tired of just looking every day of how much score they're getting in their matches and seeing if they got enough to just quit for the day. And that's basically how this event's going to feel. It does the cardinal sin of what my grinding video I made has done, of where you do not want to keep looking at the score of your RP, for example, in your tech tree, because guess what? As soon as you start looking at how much RP that you're making every single game, it just gets put into your head of, oh my God, I need to do better, or I need to, I'm not getting as much, or I don't feel like I'm doing as much. But if you kind of just ignore that area of the game, you just kind of breeze through it. And yes, you're going to breeze through it, especially doing these events now. But at the same time, you're just going to get out of your match. You're going to go over to your tab of where your achievements are. You're going to look at your thing. You're going to say, wow, I only got like 300 score that game. This is kind of bad. And I got to get, 39,000 more score. So yeah, overall, I mean, it's going to be hard. Like I don't think that people are actually going to realize this. It's going to be hard to keep doing this through the whole year. And with what Gaijin has done, they basically took away 3 vehicles for just 1 now. And the 1 vehicle grind is just a little bit harder to do, but it's a constant grind, which is just going to eat on people, which is just going to make people insane whenever it comes to War Thunder, because they're not going to have any free time to just go do whatever they want to do whenever it comes to gaming, especially if they have school, university, work, jobs, hobbies, other hobbies in War Thunder. You're just not going to have time to do it if you want to get these vehicles for free. So I highly expect a lot of people are going to be G'ing these vehicles. I highly expect a lot of people maybe will even just buy off the market, because at the end of the day, I think at this point in my time, in my life at least, time is almost worth more than money. And if it's a vehicle that you really want and it's only like $30 on the Gaijin store or the Gaijin market, is it worth $30 or just playing every day for like, 2 to 3 hours and getting the event done to actually get the vehicle? So yeah, what do you guys think about this event? I'm overall kind of negative about it, because once again, it's just going to be a constant throughout the whole year. And at least to me, that's kind of just a sad thing to see happen. If there's not going to be any breaks, there's not going to be any time to just go explore different things, even in just War Thunder. Maybe you're just having an itch to play naval one time, and then the task that you have to do is for ground or it's for air, and you're not able to watch what you play it. So it's just going to be really sad. So yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and we will see you guys in the next War Thunder video.